We are engaged in a war with the Soviet Union. This war does not, for the moment, involve men at arms. It involves information.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Nick's Flicks Fix. It's Nick here, and today I'm bringing you a review for the new Tom Hanks film, directed by Steven Spielberg, Bridge of Spies. Bridge of Spies is based on the true story of Jim Donovan. He's an insurance lawyer who was asked to defend an alleged Soviet spy who's found in America during the Cold War. And the film follows Jim and his fight to give this alleged Soviet spy a fair trial. He's constantly fighting the fact throughout the film, coming under scrutiny from his family and the government and the media, that if an American was captured in Soviet Russia, we would want him to get a fair trial, so why can't we do the same for this alleged spy?
The Russians want their man back before he cracks. We want you to negotiate the swap.
I'm an insurance lawyer. I'm not sure I want to pick that up.
Are you good at what you do?
This will be a first for the both of us.
You should be careful.
This film is ultimately a 2.5-hour dialogue film, and that could get really boring and tedious just listening to people talk for 2.5 hours. But my god, this is one of the best films I have seen this year. I loved Bridge of Spies. Tom Hanks is outstanding in this film as Jim Donovan. Character Jim is such an honest and down-to-earth and relatable guy. You're really rooting for him this whole film. You really believe a lot of what Tom Hanks is trying to do is good because he's such a genuine person, this Jim Donovan, and Tom Hanks plays it with such ease. He's absolutely phenomenal. The guy who plays the Soviet spy is outstanding as well. He has a lot of smart and comedic timing within a lot of the conversations he has with Tom Hanks, and it's just with the whole nature of the situation he's in, and it's just little one-liner throwaways really break up a lot of the dramatic tension in the film, and it works as well. It's definitely not out of place comedy. It works really well within the characters in the story. But his subtlety in the dramatic performances as well is absolutely phenomenal. Whenever he's on screen, the guy who's playing the Soviet spy really makes one of the best performances I've seen this year. Like I said, the film could have been easily tedious and long and boring because it's 2.5 hours of courtroom scenes and negotiation scenes and people just sitting and talking about the same thing for 2.5 hours. There's little to no action. There's like one scene which was very cool and very tense that could pass as an action scene, but apart from that, there is no action whatsoever. But the subject matter of the film, which I found extremely interesting, a phenomenal script with perfect dialogue written by the Coen brothers, and astonishing directing from the master of film, Steven Spielberg. Which I should add, this film is aesthetic and beautiful to look at. Very well shot. It's classic Spielberg. It feels like a Spielberg film a lot of times in this film. All of that mixed together, the subject matter and the writing and the directing, has honestly made for one of my favorite film and theater experiences of the year. I'm going to be totally honest, Spielberg has gotten 2 Oscar-worthy performances in this film. I honestly believe Tom Hanks and the guy who's playing the Soviet spy will get Oscar nominations this year. I think this film will be nominated for Best Picture and Best Director. Not just because it's a Spielberg film and the Oscars love Spielberg, but because it's such a different film to everything else we've seen this year, and it's so emotionally driven and dialogue driven and entertaining and intense, and it's literally a film. 2.5 hours of people talking. That's all it is, and it's absolutely amazing. My only issue with the film is that I actually wanted to see more of the Soviet spy character. There's a solid chunk of about 45 minutes where you don't see him, where Tom Hanks is overseas trying to negotiate a prisoner swap, and that's still a really fucking good 45 minutes of film. I just wanted to see more because he was my favorite character in the film, The Soviet Spy. Tom Hanks is amazing. He will get an Oscar nomination without a doubt. Soviet Spy is amazing. Spielberg is amazing. The Coen brothers script is fucking amazing, guys. I can definitely understand this film is not going to be a lot of people's cup of tea. You know, it's very decisive on the fact that if you like war dramas or, you know, courtroom dramas and things like that, people will get bored that it's 2.5 hours of dialogue. But I just want you to know, it's 2.5 hours of really freaking good dialogue and actors who have given 100% to these characters. I'm gonna say go and see Bridge of Spies in the theaters. It is probably the best film out at the moment.
Do you know how people will look at us? The family of a man trying to free a traitor?
Everyone deserves a defense. Every person matters.
Guys, Oscar season is officially started as far as I'm concerned. Guys, thank you so much for watching my reviews as always. And in the meantime, go see a movie sometime.
The next mistake our countries make could be the last one.